to the NintendoFuse Podcast. Today is January 19th, 2015, and it is episode number 111, entitled New Nintendo Direct, because there's a lot of new, hashtag new, in this episode here. So today, as usual, we have Steve here with us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We have Greg.
Hi everyone.
And Barry.
Hey guys.
So we are here to discuss the recent Nintendo Direct, and we love this podcast because of how interactive it is. So if you guys are listening, you can join us. Post comments, we'll read them on air, and it'll be a lot of fun. Details on how to do that are on NintendoFuse.com, so let's check that out. Go there. You can join in the chat. You can call in, and it'll be a lot of fun. But we're going to jump right in because there's a lot going on, a lot to discuss, and we also have, just quick FYI, he's not on the call yet, so he'll say hi in a bit. Alex is joining us as well, so we're glad to have him joining. So a lot to discuss with this Nintendo Direct. So we're gonna try and see, hopefully we can get to most of it at least. First things first, new Nintendo 3DS XL was officially announced for the U.S. Europe got their announcement. It's been out in Japan. We got our announcement. The U.S. is only getting the XL model. It's coming February 13th for $199.99, and it's coming in new red and new black. And if you don't know, it's got the little circle pad, it's got NFC built in, ZL, ZR buttons, faster processor, super stable 3D, all that fun stuff. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this announcement of the new 3DS XL?
Well, it was pretty much expected. We'd seen, leaks and everything that it was going to happen, and I think, pretty much everybody knew that it was going to happen no matter what. It was just kind of a matter of time, really, right? Because Europe had already, or Japan had already had it. I think Australia already had it. Europe had already got the limited edition things from Club Nintendo. So it was really just a matter of time before it was going to hit the U.S. Or North America as a whole, and so yeah, I'm excited. I pre-ordered mine and can't wait for it to come. Yeah,
I definitely agree. I was really stoked, and as Steve was saying, we were seeing all the posts saying looks like it's coming on the 13th, but Nintendo isn't confirmed yet. And here's the Nintendo Direct, and what do you know? There it is, February 13th. I have not pre-ordered mine yet. I'm still figuring out my financial situation.
Yeah, I was expecting it. I figured if they didn't, it would be a huge missed opportunity. And then when I saw the announcement, I was very happy. And then I saw the Monster Hunter thing, and I was like, oh, that's great. But I really felt it would be a missed opportunity with no Majora's Mask one. I really was pissed off about that. For the chunk between Monster Hunter 4's being announcement to the end, and when that ending happened, I was like, that's it. So I actually did go out, pre-ordered from GameStop my Majora's Mask, ready to go for launch. I'll probably do an unboxing since that thing seems to be insanely hard to find, but I am ready for it. I'm just upset that there's no regular for the people that did want faceplates.
Yeah, I think it was interesting, actually. I was watching Twitter as we were live tweeting and everything for Nintendo Fuse, and it was funny to see a lot of people are like, oh, really, only red and black? Well, I'm probably going to hold off. I can't believe they're not going to do any limited editions, and all of a sudden, Monster Hunter one. Okay, well, that's exciting, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of exploded once they announced the Majora's Mask one. So that was kind of fun to watch.
When I live tweeted that to Nintendo Fuse, I actually said, oh, there's Monster Hunter 4s, but no Majora's Mask because it hadn't happened yet. So I was really upset about that, but very pleasantly surprised by the end.
Right. I think, yeah, the biggest surprise, we all knew it was coming, even though the title was New 3DS. There really wasn't much new about it since Japan already had it. We knew what it was. But the biggest surprise was the lack of the regular version. It's one of those things that you take it for granted. You assume, why wouldn't they release it? But so a lot of people were expecting it. A lot of people were kind of planning around it, like, hey, I'm going to reserve this one, and I'm going to reserve this size, and they ended up not releasing it. So unfortunately, this guy here, you're not able to get in the U.S., which is pretty unfortunate because the faceplates are a lot of fun, and I was hoping to buy more faceplates. I imported it from Japan, but I was hoping to get more faceplates here in the U.S., and unfortunately, nothing. So that's kind of a disappointment. On top of that, the new 3DS XL doesn't have a blue color, and I was like so set on blue because blue's my favorite color. It looked amazing. Japan got it. Europe got it. Why wouldn't we get it? Of course, Nintendo of America. So I was pretty disappointed by that. So I think I'm going to actually hold off on buying the 3DS XL, even though my circle pad is busted on mine, because I want the blue.
Yeah. Well, you do have a Japan one, so I mean,
yeah.
It's not like you can't experience the new stuff. I mean, you can't play all the games, I guess, but you kind of have had your hands on of it already. So
Right.
I think in terms of the differences for me, I'm okay with them not releasing the regular one in America, only for my own personal preference. Because once I upgraded to the XL, there was no way I was going to get a regular size one anyhow, because I love the big screen. Even though it's harder to fit in my pocket, I love the bigger screen, I love the better battery life, and I love how it fits in my hands better. So it was going to be an obvious choice for me to get the XL anyhow. But for those people that want to not spend as much money, to be able to get the optional faceplates and to just have a smaller screen for whatever reason, if that's what you prefer, it is kind of unfortunate. But personally, I'm okay with it only being XL.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm going to get the XL regardless because I only play in an XL now outside of doing some street passes on my original launch 3DS. But I did see there are petitions. People were trying to get Nintendo to release the regular. And some people have seen speculation that they're going to do it at a later time, maybe down in holiday, and try to throw it out there as a holiday special bundle.
Yeah, it's always possible. I mean, there's a lot of, like people kind of doing petitions, all sorts of stuff. So who knows if that'll even do anything? Or, I mean, Nintendo's very coy about it. They didn't outright say it's never going to come. All they said is, hey, here's the new 3DS XL. So who knows? Maybe it will come at some point. For whatever reason they're holding it, I don't know. But if you do want the new 3DS XL, you do have some more options, as we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in the podcast. There is the Monster Hunter bundle, which also comes out on February 13th. And that one comes with a special Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Edition of the new 3DS XL and the game included. And so that is, the price is $229.99. The Majora's Mask bundle, actually, it's not really a bundle. It does not come with the game, just FYI. It's $199.99. It's just a special edition of the system. But if you're interested in it and you don't have it already, good luck, because chances are at this point it might be kind of hard to find.
There is something about that. I did read that Best Buy was talking to everybody who pre-ordered, and if you pre-ordered more than one, you were refunded your money minus the one. They allowed you to pre-order one, and they changed it to limit one, which means there may have been people who pre-ordered 5, 10 trying to resell, may have even sold them on eBay, that now have those canceled. So they haven't disclosed when, but keep a line watch on Best Buy, because those might go back up at some time, and I'm sure they'll sell out very quickly when they do.
It's always possible for sure. I think we got Alex on the call. Are you there, Alex?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good. I like that you dressed up for tonight.
Good. Yeah, I did. My friend just got me tons of bow ties for Christmas, so I'm just breaking them in.
So we're talking about new 3DS XL. Any thoughts on that?
I know we were talking about how they're not bringing the smaller one over here. I know that sucks for some people. I was set on the XL because I love the XL. I love the big screens, so I'm never going back to the smaller one. So it's not that big an issue for me. But I've had my eye on that Monster Hunter one. But I'm on the review for Monster Hunter for the site, so I'm probably going to be getting a review copy of the game. So it doesn't make much sense for me to. Oh wait, no, the bundle doesn't come with the game, does it?
The Monster Hunter one does.
Monster Hunter comes with a green gold.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I figured. That's why I'm not picking up that bundle, unfortunately. But and I guess there's no chance I'm gonna get that Majora's Mask one anymore, so I might just get the regular XL.
And it's interesting, because officially once it launches and everything, we're gonna have really kind of 3 separate models at the time. You know, the regular 3DS and the 3DS XL, which is a new design. I wonder if they did that on purpose here in America to kind of keep it a little bit separate. You know, if you're going to get the 2D only one, that's this one. You're going to get just the traditional 3DS, and that's this. But the new one has the extra features, the bigger screen, the premium device in a way. To kind of create 3 different product lines in America. Maybe that was kind of their idea. I don't know.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I think I'm assuming they're going to phase out the original 3DS XL and just kind of have the new 3DS XL. I think that would be logical. So I guess they could have 2DS, 3DS, and then new 3DS XL or something. Hopefully, though, that doesn't cause too much confusion with the new name and everything else. But you know, I did see the image of the Xenoblade game for new 3DS, since that is exclusive. There's a huge banner on the front of the game box art that says like only for new Nintendo 3DS. So hopefully they kind of be a bit clear with their messages when they kind of market the system. So let's head to the chat room and see what everyone is saying. So let's see. So Dylan and Riders Pocket Rangers is a couple things. So I know Greg, I think, is still on the call. He might have not. I don't see him in the video. Are you still there, Greg? Yeah, that is true. I totally forgot about that. I guess other countries are used to it, but for America, that's new.
Yeah, I think it's probably the whole charger thing is probably just to kind of keep costs down, is my guess. Probably to make packaging similar how everybody else has got it and everything, but probably to keep it cost down. I mean, that $199 price tag is a lot more appealing than $209 for whatever reason, or $219 or whatever it ended up being. So I think that's why they didn't bundle in like Wii remotes and things like that with the Wii U, is to keep that cost, you know, in that more affordable, you know, area. So I kind of understand it, I guess, from that perspective. You know, it doesn't really matter to me because I still have my DSi charger, my 3DS charger, my 3DS XL charger. I've got chargers, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But for new owners, it's kind of unfortunate.
I understand them wanting to do it for cost, but after the negative reaction I've seen since it's been announced, so many people have posted negative things about it. Like, it's only going to cost you $2, just throw it in there. You know, I think they would be kind of stupid at this point not to do something like, here's a voucher to get one for free or something like that, just to appease
probably, except for these the fans that are, you know, maybe even listen to our podcast or just like read our stuff or whatever. They're probably thinking, what are you complaining about, you silly North Americans? Because we have had to deal with this the whole way through. We've always had to buy our chargers separately. Stop throwing a fit. You're just so spoiled. It's probably what they're thinking, because like we're throwing this fit over this, like, probably a charger that's probably going to cost us maybe $10 in the end, and they're like, well, we've been buying them for a long time, so, you know, eat it, Americans. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when I got my new 3DS from Japan, it didn't have a charger, but I did have a bunch of other chargers that just lying around, like my old I think my old DSi used the same one, or I don't know. So I pretty easily had a charger ready to use. So it is what it is, I guess, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, that's the new 3DS XL. I mean, we kind of already know a lot about it, so it's not too much of a surprise. But at least now we have a specific date. We know when it's coming. The XL model, it is new red, new black, so you can kind of choose your options there, as well as the other special edition bundles. So one of the next things that was kind of talked about, I wanted to mention, is Amiibo. So we all know, Amiibo has kind of been this big thing that's been selling pretty well. It's hard to find some of them, and Nintendo's like, you know what? We're not done yet. We have more Amiibo coming your way. There is a new line of Amiibo they announced, new Super Mario Amiibo line. So we have the Super Smash Bros. Line. Now we have the Super Mario Amiibo line. This includes Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, and Bowser, as well as Toad for the first time, and that comes out on March 20th alongside the release of Mario Party 10 for Wii U, which also features an Amiibo party mode where you can use the Amiibo to unlock special boards and be able to play with those. So, are you guys going to get any of these Super Mario Bros. Amiibo, or are you all just Amiiboed out with Smash Brothers Amiibos?
I was kind of disappointed because, like, I already got so many of them already, but and I don't want to reuse and erase my Smash Brothers data on it. 'Cause, like, I can speed him up, like my Yoshi up to 50, and he's my strongest one right now, and I don't want to delete it just to play one game of Mario Party when I'm more likely to turn to Smash, like, a lot more likely. But I guess I might have to pick up one just for the game, but that, again, that seems like another additional cost.
Yeah, when I saw it,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when I saw it in the direct, I was like, oh, I expected this to happen. They look cool, especially Toad, especially knowing that Toad is used in Captain Toad and he's the only one. So I was like, well, I have to get Toad, and I was excited about it. I told my wife, I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, please tell me you're not gonna get him again. You already have him. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get him again. Like I can't. Like I have to. Plus. Since I don't want to delete my characters, I already have them all level 50. And her response was, if you get him again, fine, but don't level Donkey Kong anymore. Don't use him anymore and erase him if you have to. Don't buy a second Donkey Kong right now for Mario Party. So that's my restriction. Can't double up, but at least I can get the different line.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of glad that I didn't decide to get everything because my wallet would be killing me if that was the case. So I'll probably definitely get Toad because of Captain Toad, and I don't know. I'll think about the other ones. Not so sure. I like how they look, and I'm glad to have other ones. I wasn't necessarily surprised by the the issue with the read-write stuff and having to reset it, for a different one. I think we were told that a while back. I think just most people probably forgot that was going to be the case. And so, especially because Smash Brothers is really the only ones that has read and write so far. And so I think a lot of people are like, oh, we've used it with Hyrule Warriors, we used it with Mario Kart, it should be okay. But this one being able to read and write is probably why. And so I'll probably just pick, I'll probably use Toad and Captain Toad. I'll probably use, if I end up getting Mario Party. I'm not sure if I will or not, but if I end up getting one, I'll probably just pick one to use it or something like that. When it comes down to it, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have, like, probably one, amiibo that are one or two amiibos that I kind of use over and over for the same game. So maybe like my Yoshi is probably going to be the one that I really attach to Smash Brothers, and I'll pick another one that I really attach to Mario Party if I end up getting that. And so, having a collection of them, I'm okay with just kind of picking and choosing which ones I use for which games.
One of the defining factors that I was able to get my wife on board is she looked at them and she said, well, at least the Mario and Luigi ones look better, because Luigi's Smash Brothers amiibo is pretty ridiculous. So at least that one looks better. I'm like, yeah, that one looks better. I have to get it because it looks better.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they didn't make Luigi look like a doofus. Exactly.
What is this?
The best part is when you put him to life in Smash Brothers, he falls on his face, which is great.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up collecting all the Super Mario amiibo as well, just because I love the figures. I think they're really cool, and I just cannot stop my collector self, I guess. But I do like that they're releasing a Toad amiibo. It's definitely kind of the first time that they're going to be expanding more, and it's always cool to see some of that. I kind of wish, I was almost hoping that they would have like a Captain Toad amiibo that would work with a Captain Toad game, but I guess they just decided to go with just a generic Toad one for various games. But that will certainly be interesting to see. Aside from that, well, I guess Alex, are you still on the call? I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm back. My internet cut out for a little bit there.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on amiibo? You want to collect any ones? Have you been collecting them recently?
Yeah, I don't know, when Smash Bros. First came out and these amiibos were first released, I thought it was kind of dumb and I didn't collect them, but then people kept getting them for me for Christmas and my birthday, and now I'm hooked on all these Smash Bros. Amiibos. ordered a couple in from Japan because you can't find them here anymore. But when they revealed the new Mario amiibos, it just didn't interest me as much. I find the whole Mario Party New Super Mario Bros. Art style kind of sterile and boring, so I'm not really a fan of how they look. I mean, at least the Smash Bros. Amiibos are like stylized, and they're all in sometimes ridiculous poses that don't stand up on their own, so they need those dumb little beams and things. But, you know, there's kind of a certain charm to it, and I guess you can say the same about these Mario figures, but they're just kind of boring to me.
Right. I definitely feel you on the amiibo addiction. It's strong. It's hard to get rid of.
Yes.
The other, they actually talked about a couple of other games that use the amiibo on the Nintendo Direct. So, for example, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, which comes out on February 20th, also uses the Kirby, King Dedede, and Meta Knight amiibo. So once a day, you can tap any of those characters. So they'll kind of power up Kirby and give him different abilities, basically. As we mentioned, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker uses the Toad amiibo, so there'll be an update coming out on March 20th to use that. You can basically make Pixel Toad appear on a stage, and you can try and find him. Also, Codename Steam, which was kind of interesting, is going to use the Fire Emblem amiibo, whether that's Mark or Ike or Robin or Lucina. So they will be able to become playable in the game. So that was pretty neat. And there's some third-party games that will be using them as well, like Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus from Bandai Namco, where you can basically unlock special aircraft skins using various amiibo in the game. So lots of different games using amiibo. Any of those games interest you, or do you plan on using amiibo in them?
I mean, Kirby looks interesting to me, but the problem with that one is nobody's going to have a Meta Knight amiibo. There are going to be like 4 of them that are made, and they're going to cost like $4,000 on eBay, and nobody's going to be able to enjoy it because Nintendo only puts...
I've got it pre-ordered on Best Buy, okay? I will have it.
Well, some people
He's one of the 4.
Some people...
You either got to buy 100 of them and then resell them all.
Together, I think Greg and I make up half of the population that's going to own a Meta Knight amiibo. So
They're all going to be owned by NintendoFuse. I mean, Captain Toad. I mentioned that already. I'll probably, go ahead and use Toad with Captain Toad. I mean, it'd probably be a while before I finished all the levels in there, but it's cool that they'll be adding new ones through Pixel Toad or whatever, and how that all will really work in the end is kind of cool. I think it's kind of, in a way, we talked about this before, kind of like physical DLC in a way. So it's kind of cool that these figures kind of add extra features to the game. We've kind of been wondering how it's going to do that. What was the other ones? Codename Steam. I'm still probably not going to be playing that one. Ace Combat. I'm excited. I only played one Ace Combat game so far, so I might end up getting this one. And if I do, it'd be cool to use the amiibo. I love flying games, and I really enjoyed the one Ace Combat game that I played, so it'd be cool to kind of add in the skins and stuff. I just want to take a moment and talk about Kirby, because I have a beef with it, and it has nothing to do with the amiibo. My beef is that it's touchscreen only, and I don't understand why the game is set up that way with the beautiful art style that it has that will look absolutely brilliant on HD TV, yet you won't be seeing that because you'll be staring at the gamepad the entire time.
It's for the Waddle Dees to enjoy. If you're playing Kirby, you're stuck, but the people playing Waddle Dee will enjoy it.
So I'm going to have to find a friend to play Kirby so I can play Waddle Dee, so I can actually look at these beautiful visuals, because I'm not going to want to play Kirby at all. Number one, because I don't really enjoy touchscreen-only games, especially platformers like that. Number two, because I want to look at this fantastic-looking game, but it's not going to look as cool on this gamepad. So.
I don't know. I wish it would have been kind of cool to offer an option where, instead of like drawing directly, like you can kind of draw but look at the TV screen and see like where you drew the the line or something, and kind of be able to do that or something. So that would have kind of been nice to at least have that option in there. But I guess unfortunately Nintendo's banking on you having somebody else there to play with you. So
right. I mean, like those games make a lot of sense for the handheld, because you got your screens are number one right next to each other, and number two they're the same resolution. But it's so jarring to do this, or like I want that the game looks beautiful, and if they end up pulling something like that with Yoshi's Woolly World, I'm gonna be even more ticked off because that game's even prettier, and I want to look at it.
Well, see, about that, like when I did Captain Toad, I played it with the gamepad, and I played it looking at the screen. The entire time I looked at the gamepad. Even though it looked better on the TV, like I just was more comfortable looking at the gamepad. And it didn't take away anything. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell of the game. I beat every level. And, I'm looking forward to going back through for the time challenges and finding little Toad when I get my hands on the Toad amiibo. And I understand that frustration. I kind of wish you could choose, like give yourself the option. But the way that game is designed, since it looks like it's very, very closely following Canvas Curse, I don't see a way they can do it. And they might as well make the graphics look good on the TV instead of looking like shit, and then people will complain about the graphics looking like shit, That's why you get friends over, you all draw straws, and the short straw has to play as Kirby and look at the screen, and everyone else gets to play Waddle Dee or Bandit Dee.
It's like, haha, you got stuck with Kirby. Suck it.
Or, best of both worlds, I play as, on the gamepad, and I record using my Elgato Game Capture HD some Let's Play footage for you all on NintendoFuse.
Watch it later.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that, guys. If you want to see the game, you can see it in HD soon.
Hey, speaking of which, we need a chat. This is just a reminder. Everybody that's listening and watching the podcast is going to hear it, but we need to chat about settings, because I'm having issues with mine, like stuttering and stuff. So we'll have to chat later.
For the stream? Talk show and stuff, or okay, yeah. I think today's been weird because I don't know if Greg and Alex are on the video or not. I can't even see them right now, but
I see them.
So I don't know what's going on with the Google stuff.
Oh, and just in general, because I was having trouble streaming on Twitch and stuff too. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I can see everybody, but everybody's moving like a little bit like jarred.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not there. My computer's showing me there, and I've been watching you guys all, so I don't.
Well, I think
disconnected, but
it might be my computer being weird today, just because I think when you were on before, but it didn't show it, but I saw you drop, and then I see you come back, but I can't see you. But I think that's just my computer being weird. But
yeah. It is. And I was specifically talking about streaming the games through the Elgato thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we'll discuss that. Let's head to the chat going on YouTube. So let's see what people are saying. Dylan and Riders Poker Rangers says, quick question. I know GameStop is having a promotion. If you trade in 3DS XL, you get a $100 credit towards the new 3DS XL. Is that really worth it? Personally, I think it is. I mean, I have the new 3DS, so I can kind of say from experience with some of the new features and everything. I think it is worth it. I think the Circle Pad is kind of neat for some of the games and everything. But for me, some of the best stuff is how the faster system and the faster downloads. Definitely just booting up games is even quicker. The improved 3D is definitely really nice. So that's definitely a plus. Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it's an improved 3DS. You can't go wrong with that, really. But just keep in mind, if you trade into GameStop, make sure your GameStop has solid internet connection, and they're going to allow you to do a transfer. Because in order to transfer all your save data and licenses for your games, you need an internet connection, and you need your old 3DS and the new one together. So do keep that in mind. Some stores will let you, some stores may not, so your mileage may vary on that.
And the SD card situation too. Make sure that you have the new one. You can transfer that all over, on using a computer. I'm pretty sure to copy your old data to the new data so you're from the SD card to the micro SD. But the transfer itself might need to have that intact and actually have the new SD micro SD in there. And so if you're like me, and I know some of these guys here too. Have like a 32 gigabyte SD card in our 3DS. Well, you have to make sure you get at least that the a big enough one that's going to work on your new 3DS, and you probably need to bring a small screwdriver along with you to GameStop to pop off the back of the new 3DS XL, because you can't just access the SD card, the micro SD, as easy as you've been able to access the SD card on your old 3DS.
Good point. Definitely do keep that in mind for sure.
What a fun process that sounds like.
Yeah, can you
I
imagine?
mean, I did the transfer in the store for the regular XL, and then if I do a transfer, that'd be another fun day there, and probably suck up a lot of bandwidth because I have the 32 card, and to compare, I did buy a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, figuring that I was going to get the system at some point, so I don't know if I should just transfer data now or if it needs to transfer after it. I have no idea.
I would copy it over like right before you go, just so it's like up to date. Because I feel like the 3DS, I've heard cases where if people copy over like an older version of the save data or something, like the 3DS tends to say, you know, that's like not the latest version of the save data. You please load the newest version, and then it kind of screws up, and you might have to start over or something. So I would make sure that like maybe like the morning of or something, like you copy everything over and make it current before you actually switch the SD card, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind if you trade in your 3DS.
That reminds me, one more.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing about that new 3DS. Nick, one of our news guys in the chat, just mentioned that the new 3DS doesn't come with that AC adapter. So if you return your old system for in-store credit, you're gonna have to buy a new AC adapter because they'll expect you to bring in the AC adapter with that thing. It shouldn't be much of an issue, but you know, make sure that your store has one in stock, or you won't be able to play that thing.
Yeah, definitely do keep that in mind. So a lot to remember. Create a checklist for yourself, and you know, just don't forget.
Hey, on the adapter thing I want to mention, I purchased, I know that they say don't do this, but just from personal experience, I purchased two USB cables, charging cables for 3DS off like eBay or whatever before, and they work great. So it's another option. I got them for like $2 or $3, and it's nice to just kind of throw in my bag, and I can charge it from my computer. I can charge it from a their USB dongle or whatever for my computer or whatever. So just another idea.
Yep, definitely lots of different ways to do that. Excuse me. One last thing on Amiibo before we kind of move on to the next topic. I did want to mention Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS. The update to use Amiibo in the game will be coming out in February. The new 3DS will obviously have the NFC stuff built in. The NFC adapter for the regular 3DS will launch in the future, so stay tuned for that. So one of the other announcements they made is the game, it's actually like a two-pack, Puzzle and Dragon Z and Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. In Japan, Puzzle and Dragons Z. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to say. I believe they're separate games. So it came out in Japan, and it's super popular, and they're releasing a Super Mario Bros. Edition. So here in the US, they're putting two games in one, and it's essentially a puzzle game, very similar to, I think, Candy Crush seems what it seems like. And it's coming out this May. So is this the type of game that interests any of you?
Nope.
Sounds like that's a no.
And the puzzle game thing, though, I mean, there was another one that they announced. Was a Pokemon themed or something that was going to be free to play.
Pokemon Shuffle.
That one's probably going to be one I pick up because it's free to play. But this type of game, I mean, mobile has kind of killed me on it. I really, because I can get a game like this on my phone for like 99 cents or free, and I hate that that's happened. But if I'm going to play a game like this, it's probably only going to be here and there, and I'd rather only spend $1 on it than spend $20-$30 on a 3DS game. So yeah, not my thing. But it's cool that they're bringing some of these Japanese only games over.
See, Steve, you and I are opposites there. I don't play any games on my mobile phone. I hate mobile phone games. I hate the freemium, and that's exactly why I'm turned off by Pokemon Shuffle, because it's freemium with real app purchases and all that, and turn off even if it is free to download. I probably won't even do that. But on the opposite hand, Puzzles and Dragons, which I never heard about until I saw the Japanese trailer for the Super Mario, and people are in the comments were like, "Oh, what about Puzzles and Dragons Z?" So I realized, oh, there's another game that came out, and now we're getting them both together. So I'm definitely going to pick that up because it's 2 games in one, and I would rather A, play it on the 3DS than a phone where I actually have controls, B, support Nintendo than support some company like King who's just money grubbing and think they're gods. And see, I like games with Mario in it. What can I say?
Sure. All that being said, I actually don't play Candy Crush either, so yeah.
That's your favorite game, Steve. No. I'm not a big fan of those types of games either, and as soon as I saw the Pokemon Shuffle was premium, I was like, Nintendo, do not go there. That's a pretty bad idea. I do not want to see this applied to other games at all.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, we're totally getting off topic, and that's my fault. But it's interesting they're going that way because was it like a couple years ago when they announced in their financial briefing that they were going to explore different options for pricing in order to somewhat compete with that mobile market. And I think it's interesting that they've tried some different things over this last year with Rusty's Real Deal Baseball being a free-to-play game, but you can kind of get the prices a little lower if you kind of haggle with them a little bit. But this one seems to be just a straight up, copying exactly how a lot of mobile games do, with just going, free to play with so many lives, and you can purchase additional lives or whatever, additional coins or whatever to play more. Is exactly like a mobile phone would do. So it's interesting, I guess. So it's kind of cool that they're releasing 2 games that actually seem pretty similar with this Puzzle and Dragons game and Pokemon Shuffle. Maybe they're going to kind of see which one does better in the end. Should we go with the traditional model and just send these out and see how that does, and at the same time they're going to release this free to play one and see how that one does, and kind of maybe use those in the future to judge how they should release games.
Even more reason people should purchase Puzzles and Dragons and steer Nintendo away from this freemium crap.
Yeah, I understand that Pokemon Shuffle might actually win because Pokemon are generally geared towards younger kids, and obviously if they have the 3DS, 2DS, whatever, then they'll like, hey, I want a couple eShop credit, and then they'll buy more hearts and they can continue playing just like they would play those kind of games on their mobile phone. So it's kind of dangerous because it's going to really appeal to that younger generation that's unfamiliar with like the in-app purchases and all that kind of stuff too.
Right.
Back in my day, we were able to buy a game and get it complete.
I was going to say, I think Pokemon is one of those series that, like, it's the most interesting in terms of the different types of games you can do, but it's also the most dangerous in terms of you can go down a dark road with all the freemium stuff. And what if they start doing like amiibo for like a million different Pokemon? Like there's a very there's 2 roads that Nintendo can go down, and it's like which way are they going? You got to be a little careful there. But I'm kind of with you guys in that. The whole freemium thing kind of turned me away from Pokemon Shuffle. But also, it looks so similar to the, Pokemon Battle Troze. Like, it just seemed very similar to that, and I was like, I already have that, so I don't know. I don't see much reason in getting this one.
It's true. I think my wallet sometimes wins out over my principles.
Hassan, don't forget they already did the Pokemon Amiibo thing with Pokemon Rumble U.
Yeah, they did. That's true. So they kind of were testing the waters with that, and who knows what will happen in the future. I'm a little excited, but I'm a little scared as well at the same time. So we'll see. And Pokemon though is interesting because it's owned by, I guess, the Pokemon company. So some of their decisions are kind of separate from Nintendo, but they're also a part of Nintendo. So it's very interesting because I think maybe it wasn't specifically Nintendo that had this idea for the freemium thing. Some people kind of are quick to either put the credit or the blame for Nintendo for Pokemon stuff, but it's Nintendo, but it's not Nintendo in a way. If that makes sense. It's
Well, I
an
think
interesting
Nintendo has to okay anything they do. I think they can come up with any idea they want, but Nintendo has to be the final okay on it.
Right. Yeah, so that is that. So if you're interested in Pokemon Shuffle or Puzzle and Dragon Z, you have those options as well. Another thing I wanted to talk about. So Nintendo, again, trying new ways of purchasing things. So they're getting into the cross-buy area finally. So Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars is going to release on the eShop for both Wii U and 3DS, and it is actually pretty cool because if you buy one version, then you'll get a free download code for the other version. So you're able to kind of have it across both systems. And the neat thing about this one is you can create your own levels. So that's definitely pretty fun. Anyone plan on getting this game?
Me, actually. It's one of those games that I did not think I'd originally enjoy. I think the first game that came out, I think it was for Game Boy Advance, maybe.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever. And then I eventually got the one, I think it was DSiWare, and played it quite a bit. And I didn't get any of the recent ones, but I remember playing that one quite a bit. And the only reason I didn't get the new ones is because I still have some more of the advanced levels to beat on the DSi one, and so I'll probably get this new one. I think it's exciting that they're finally throwing some cross-buy at us in North America, because I know Europe has got it for a while, and it's one of the things we've complained about before, because Nintendo of Europe keeps getting these cool things, but America kind of just realized, hey, I guess we got enough money so we can buy two different versions of the game. It'd be even cooler if there was completely syncing with the two games, but one step at a time, I guess. So I'll definitely be getting it.
I'm kind of undecided if I'm going to get it or not. I've played quite a number of the ones in the series. The Game Boy Advance one, I believe, even the DSiWare one, and then I even had March of the Minis or whatever. I think it was a full-fledged DS game or 3DS game or something like that I had. I've kind of enjoyed them. The levels are always kind of fun, but I'm not too much into the creative aspect on those. But I don't know, I kind of like that thing where you can have both copies of it just for the price of one, and I would definitely want to support something like that, because I would love to have all of my Virtual Console games on both systems.
Yeah, I enjoyed the series when the original on the Game Boy Advance and March of the Minis, and I actually did have the DSi one because it was a launch title, so I had some credit, so I bought that, and I did enjoy it. I'm not sure if I'll buy it because, again, it's digital at this point, but I do want to support Nintendo for this option. I think it's about time they got this, because it's so stupid that we have to buy a Virtual Console game on each system and have to pay double the price, especially when they're linked with Nintendo Network IDs and all that. Sony has it right where they have everything linked, and I think Nintendo really needs to do that, and I think they'd gain more sales. So I really hope this is the beginning of a trend. Even if they did stuff where they released a physical package and they allowed you a download code for another one for two-player games like Mario Kart, or Smash Brothers, so if you have two 3DSs or you have a friend that has it, that you could gift it to them and then play multiplayer kind of deal, kind of like the download play but with the full game. I'd like to see something like that in the future.
Right. Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting way to. Alex, any thoughts on Mario vs. DK Tipping Stars?
No, I felt kind of mixed about it when it popped up in the Nintendo Direct, because on one hand they're experimenting with cross-buy, which is maybe 3 or 4 years too late, but at least they're doing it right. But on the other hand, I did try the game at E3 and it doesn't interest me, so I'm happy they're experimenting with cross-buy, but it just doesn't appeal to me as a game. So, nice to see that they're trying out different things, right?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Speaking of trying new things, one of the new IPs was also featured on the Nintendo Direct, and they showed off how you can customize your characters and their weapons, and with in-game currency, and that'll kind of affect your stats in the game. And Splatoon is releasing this May. Personally, I'm super excited for this game. I think it looks like so much fun, and I cannot wait to play this online. It is going to be amazing. Did you get to play this at E3, Alex? I can't remember.
Here,
Good.
sorry, that skipped for a second there. What are we talking about now?
Splatoon, did you get a chance to play that at E3?
Yes, I got to play it a couple times at E3. It was so good. I went back in line and waited another half hour to play it. Oh, man, that game is so good. It's action-packed, it's fast, it's creative. We were playing it, and so you shoot your paint, and you can turn into a squid, and you kind of go around, and I know they kind of explained all this stuff in the direct, but it's really cool to kind of shoot your paint up the wall while you're running, then go into this squid and just go up like seamlessly. It's so fast, it's so exciting, and it's so different. I can't wait for this game.
Very cool.
Very cool.
What about you guys? Steve, any interest in Splatoon?
Definitely, yeah. It's gonna be. I hope to get an actual review copy of it and kind of bring some thoughts and maybe do some stream and stuff like that. But I'm clearly excited about it and cannot wait because I think this is something that Nintendo's needed for a long time. And I'm not talking about a shooting genre game. I'm talking about a game that's focused on online. Because that's a lot of other systems have had games that are, kind of primarily online, and then they kind of thought about the single player later. And not to say that they should focus on the single player, but that online seems to be like the main focus of this game, and that's exciting. But it does seem like they have a really robust single player campaign that's going to come alongside it. It's really cool. But I'm mostly excited about the multiplayer aspect because Nintendo has just not had really any game like that before.
Right. Greg, Barry, you guys ready for Splatoon? You ready to play online?
Yeah. First, I'm ready. I think we should definitely do a Nintendo Fuse group and take on the world. But I'm actually really excited for the single player. Like the multiplayer definitely looks exciting. I'm definitely for it. But I'm really interested to see where they go with the single player and see what happens. And who knows, maybe a DLC Smash Brothers character Splatoon Squid will join the fight, which will be kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I definitely will be picking it up, and I think Nintendo needs to hire Alex as the commercial. Like, just have him sit there for 30 seconds, describe the game, face glowing, smile on, boom, done, sold game. That's what I say.
Nintendo, you listening? Come on, get at me. I could use the money.
There you go. Wait, hey, they totally have to listen because we always predict Nintendo Directs when they happen, so you never know.
That's true. I've got my bow tie. I look all professional. That's the real reason I wore this, is because I knew Nintendo would be watching, trying to impress them.
Makes sense.
If I can put on my Mario. Alright. I am also pretty excited for Splatoon, and I will definitely be picking this one. Again, with like the baby on the way, I don't know if I'll get it on launch day, but it's definitely be on my very high want list to get as soon as I can. So I hope to get it and be able to play online with everyone. That would be awesome. Just like when we play Smash Brothers, I always have so much fun.
That's what you can do when you're up at 3 in the morning with a baby that won't sleep. Play some Splatoon.
There you go.
You could
Teach him really.
excuse me. I was saying you can get like a little Splatoon costume or something like for Halloween. I think that'd be a cute little thing for a little baby to wear. Little Splatoon.
Oh my God, yes.
That'd be awesome. That's a good idea.
So
Nintendo better be watching for all this.
yeah, I know we have all these great ideas, right? Including the Puggles and Dragons, right? As Nick in the chat said that he would totally buy that game, right? So I want to kind of wrap things up now, and sort of there's a lot of announcements, and so I want to kind of go through each of us and just mention kind of our favorite parts of the Nintendo Direct, and if there's certain things we didn't get to talk about, you can mention those as well. Just real quick, some of the stuff. There was a new Fire Emblem game announced. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is coming in April, exclusive to the new 3DS XL. They did show off more footage of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Hyrule Warriors DLC with the Majora's Mask pack comes February 5th for $7.99. A whole bunch of stuff. There's some third-party games. So, what were some of the highlights for you? What were your favorite parts of the Direct? So we'll start with Steve.
Xenoblade, actually. I am getting closer and closer to various feelings about this game, just simply because, oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful. And I actually tweeted this. I was like, if Xenoblade looks this great, I cannot wait to see what Zelda is going to look like, because like Nintendo really knows how to make stuff for their own system. So I'm really excited about Xenoblade and just the expansion. It just looks great. I'd also say whatever that kind of secretive free-to-play online thing that was mentioned, I can't remember who it was, that they're working on. It was very secretive in a way. It was like a third-person thing, but it was like made by like just
Project Treasure,
made by like just a handful of guys. And it's pretty much an indie title, which it looked fantastic for just an indie project that guys probably just made in their basement. So I'm pretty excited about that too. I really want to hear more about that. So those are two games that I was kind of already excited about Xenoblade, but I got even more excited, and this other one was just kind of floored me. I wasn't expecting to see anything like that at all.
So Project Treasure is, according to the Nintendo PR, it's a new 4-player co-op game from Bandai Namco and Tekken director Katsuhiro Harada for Wii U. So we'll see what that's like. We really didn't get any information on it, but we'll see what that's like. What about you, Greg? What were your highlights?
Well, actually, a little direction. I actually really enjoyed the Fire Emblem stuff. I can't say I've been a lifelong fan. I didn't really start playing it until Awakening, but I've kind of gone back and enjoyed Three Sacred Stones, and I just picked up Shadow Dragon for the DS and have been playing through that right now. So I am very ecstatic for the very brand new. That Elliot's Quest game also looks kind of fun. That's going to be coming out next month too, so I might be picking up that one to download.
Gotcha. Cool. What about you, Barry?
First off, I could say thank you, Steve, for seeing the light. You have seen the light.
Really, it's not that difficult. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And like it might make me actually go back and pick up Chronicles 3D for the new 3DS because I'm so excited about this new one. I was like, oh well, while I wait, I could play the old one on my new 3DS and get some new feature stuff. So
there is no might. You hear here, Steve. You must pick that game up and play it. I challenge you to pick that up because that game is amazing. That game is so amazing. I'm going to be picking that up again to play because it's just so good. And my takeaways from the Direct, first off, Xenoblade Chronicles X looks fantastic. And it really has me worried as the Zelda fan that I am that it's going to be my game of the year over Zelda U, and that scares me in a good way. I'm also happy to see Xenoblade Chronicles 3D coming to America without us having to do fan petitions, buy it on Amazon, beg, do whatever we have to take to get the game over here. They're actually just giving it to us for once. Wow, America likes video games. Go figure. So I'm happy to see that. For those that didn't get a chance to play it, I hope you do play Xenoblade. Project Treasure looks interesting. My biggest takeaway from that is in the 4-way split during the trailer, you could see 4 different faces, and one of them is Cosmos from Xenosaga. So, A, she's coming back for another game, which is interesting, but B, will we get Xenosaga Trilogy HD on Wii U, maybe? Make it happen, Bandai. Other than that, Fire Emblem I was excited to see, especially since they said Awakening was going to be the last game in the series, possibly. So I was happy to see that, and at the same time, simultaneously sad that it was an SMT cross Fire Emblem, which we still have yet to know anything else about besides that initial trailer. But I was happy overall with the direct, and obviously you could see my exact reactions as they happened online on Nintendo Fuse.
Cool. What about you, Alex? What were your highlights of the Nintendo Direct?
I don't know, I guess a lot of mine are pretty similar to other people's, but for the Xenoblade trailer, Xenoblade X, the E3 one kind of made me a little bit disappointed because the character models looked like hot trash, and this one, everything just looked so much better. I mean, the environments looked good in the E3 trailer. It's mostly the characters I was concerned about, but man, I was watching this trailer and I almost started crying. It was beautiful. I'm on the review for that. I am so happy about that. Can't wait for that game too. That and Splatoon and the new Fire Emblem was pretty interesting. And like Barry said, Project Treasure. So, there wasn't a whole lot that really, really surprised us, but there was some really neat information in there. And I'm definitely excited for Xenoblade and Fire Emblem and Monster Hunter the most.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess for me, I gotta echo what everybody said about games like Michael Jackson. I think it just looks amazing. I'm just not into that genre of game though, so I probably won't get it. But I would love to watch gameplay videos of it. I would love to watch videos of it because it looks amazing. I just don't know that I would have the time to really play too much of it. But definitely looks just amazing. I mean, the HD. Definitely, I guess that feature really shines for Wii U there. For me, I'm a big collector, so all the amiibo stuff was pretty cool. I was glad to finally see some images and kind of a tentative release date for the next wave of Smash Brothers amiibo. The new amiibo line was pretty cool. Splatoon looks great. Even one of the random games that they kind of showed from VD Dev, a small indie developer team, is releasing Ironfall Invasion for the 3DS, which is like a first-person shooter game, 60 frames per second on the eShop and everything, with online play as well. So it seemed kind of interesting to me, and I saw some gameplay videos using the C stick as your right analog, and I thought that would definitely be a cool control method. So that looked kind of interesting to me as well. But aside from that, I think everybody's kind of covered the other games. I think Ace Combat, I think I might actually get that because I never got it before, but with the improved 3D, I think that'll be pretty cool. Plus the amiibo skins, I think, is also pretty neat. So yeah,
that's true. I didn't think about that, but speaking of Ace Combat, that was one of the big things that I really enjoyed it being 3D before, but I couldn't play it like that because with flying games, I'm moving around. The same thing with Star Fox. I'm excited to go back and play Star Fox 3D with the new 3DS because of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Going back and playing older games now in 3D because I couldn't before.
Right. I'm half tempted to download Kid Icarus Uprising on my new 3DS so I could not only, instead of having the Circle Pad Pro, I can use a C-Stick, but the improved 3D and everything, I think that would definitely be, there's certain games that would definitely be worth replaying and checking out for sure. But that kind of wraps things up for the Nintendo Direct. Definitely very packed. If you want to see a full list of all the details that were released on the Nintendo Direct, head to NintendoFuse.com and you can see all of the details there. And that is that, folks. That is it. So thank you so much to everybody that joined us in the chat, and thank you for listening. And we will see you guys next time. We'll let you know. Stay tuned to NintendoFuse.com to know when the next episode is. I guess usually when there's some sort of a big event happening, or at least once every few weeks we'll do an episode. So stay tuned for that. So thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.
See ya.
Recording has been completed.